What's happening, guys? It's Jason from Air Cooled Vintage Works, and yes, that is a Honda Civic behind me. If you didn't see our last YouTube video where I announced this new personal project, you should go watch it. It's pretty cool. So today we're going to go into part 2, which is going to be parts. Now I promised we were going to throw a literal ton of parts at this car, and we are, but there's just one problem. There's no parts here. So how does this work? Do you just snap your fingers and they show up? I mean, like this? Hey, it worked. Look at all this stuff. That's awesome. We got to try that other places. This is just part of the amount of parts that we're going to throw at this car. This is all that would fit. So let's go over all this stuff, what it is, where it came from, and what it's going to do for this car. And the big mystery is what's underneath that blanket right there. Let's get into it. This is a golden era Honda build. So of course, if you're going to build something that represents the golden era of Hondas, there's a couple of brands that need to make their presence known on your car. One is Mugen, obviously, everybody's pretty much aware of that name, and Spoon, which if you're into Hondas, you know what that is too. They made some of the best parts, and still do make some of the best parts in the Honda tuning community, and I've always liked it. I've had some Spoon stuff on my other cars, and I wanted to put some on this car. So I started off small, and the first thing that we're going to talk about are these wheels. These are the legendary Spoon wheels. These are a 15x8 with a plus 35 offset. And these are real deal wheels. You can still get these. These came from Spoon, obviously, and they only come in black. And to wrap those, I got these tires right here. So I know I already pointed out on the car that it's got Toyo R compounds. I'm not gonna run those on the street. These are what I'm gonna run. It's a Falcon. These are a 225 45 15. It's an aggressive compound, I guess is what you would call it. Good for summer driving, but I'm gonna use those on the street. And I've got a set of Rays TE37s. It's gonna go on the car for track stuff with those wheels. I'm not gonna keep the Inky wheels. I know some people like them. It's not really my thing. So those are coming off. These are gonna be for street. The TEs will be for track. And that's gonna be the wheel setup. Now lug nuts, obviously, there's a million different lugs out there, but had to go Spoon. So we got the Spoon blue lugs here, full set, real deal, obviously, straight from Japan. If you're gonna do it, why not do it right? So I know you're already eyeballing those seats back there. Those are Recaro SR3s. These would have been proper for an Integra Type R. If I was building a Civic Type R clone, I would have gone with the red ones. I like the red, but I had them in another car, and to be honest with you, I think the black just looks more subtle. So those are real deal Recaro SR3s right there. I've got seat rails from PCI, so those are gonna be able to make those mount straight into the car. Awesome. Plus you've got adjustability forward and back, and those recline, you know, the whole deal. I mean, if you know those seats, you know what they are. Spoon radiator, I know you can't miss that one. That radiator setup for this car also had to get the Spoon hoses as well. And the next thing that I had to get, and these are pretty hard to get, obviously, if you know about Spoon stuff, are these Spoon EK mirrors. They're really cool. I mean, the factory mirrors on the car, they're pretty big and bulky, like you can see, but these, they slim them down. They have a carbon shell. They got the blue glass, and these are electric if you want to hook that up, so they'll work off the switch, the factory switch. But man, these things are like discontinued, super hard to get. It took me a long time to find these. They weren't in great shape when I got them, but now that they've been restored and re-cleared, they look beautiful. And I just want to point out, because we're going to be talking about a lot of parts and a lot of names and a lot of shops and things like that, none of this stuff was sponsored. I had to buy all of this stuff myself. I had to seek it out, find it, and pay for it, and pay full price and shipping and everything that goes along with it, which I happily did to have this stuff. So you hear me mentioning a lot of brands, that's stuff I had to pay for. So just keep that in mind. Let's keep going. There's a lot of stuff to look at here. So the next must-have, obviously, is a Civic Type R grille. It looks a lot different than the factory one, and it eliminates the Honda badge in the middle. It's pretty ubiquitous, but just something you have to have. So there's that. And you can't miss that Spoon B-pipe right behind it. That's one piece of it. The other piece is over here. And if you take a look in the back, we'll get to that in a minute, but that's the Spoon N1 muffler, which I know is pretty loud for the street, but I don't care. And if it is too loud, I got the little insert silencer right there as well. More spoon parts. Like, can you ever have enough spoon stuff? But let's keep trucking along. So also something else that was on my must-have list, spoon steering wheel, you see right there. And I went old school. I didn't want a quick release on it. A lot of guys like those things, but I probably wouldn't really use it. So I just got their typical spoon steering wheel mount back there. You can see that's what that is. And something else for the interior that I had to have was this zoom mirror. I don't know if you guys have seen these, but bitch and carbon, cool design. And it has the little extension that'll mount right to the roof mount on your car. So they're car specific. You don't have to fabricate anything. They just bolt on. Super light, really nice. Here it is, straight from Japan. Now I know you can't miss that lip on the ground right there. And that is a super cool piece. It's made by Phantom EG on Instagram. You can look him up. It's a version of the first molding lip. It's really a nice piece. If you take a look at it, the quality is excellent. All carbon, it's all cleared. It's super light, obviously, but also very strong. And with the car as low as it is, I'm sure I'm gonna beat this against the ground plenty of times. The good news is that if you need another one, he'll just make it for you. But this was also another must-have piece. Super cool. This is gonna look great on the car. And that brings us to this brake setup, which you can't miss that one either. So come and check this out. Obviously had to go with the spoon calipers for the front, the spoon brake lines all the way around, but these are awesome. So Wrench Mob Motorsports on Instagram makes these. These are big brakes that will go for your EK. He also makes them for Integra. He's got them in 5-lug for like Civic Type R, and obviously 4-lug right here for our Civic. And we had him do the centers in matching spoon blue to go with our calipers. But these are bitchin'. I mean, super cool big brake kit, and it bolts right on. Can't beat it. And that pretty much rounds out the front brake setup right there. So again, if I was gonna build my dream Civic, what other pieces did I have to have? Well, I had to have the spoon hatch spoiler. Those are super cool, and I was lucky enough to find one right here. It's been fully restored, obviously, and then clear coated. Super cool carbon piece that's nice and light. It just looks better than that painted spoiler that's on the back of the hatch. I've always liked these. They're just kind of hard to get, and I was lucky enough to find that one in really good shape. It just needed to be refreshed, and so it has been, and there it is, ready to go on the car. That was one of those pieces that I was really happy to find it, and now that it's finished, I mean, how does it get any better than that? So we've covered this stuff. Now let's cover this stuff and that weird thing back there that's covered over in the blanket. So let's work our way this way. So starting over here, I like to have shift knob options. So I've got a Mugen shift knob right there, a couple of Battlecraft knobs, different sizes, checkered sport weighted shift knob, and then of course the spoon shift knob as well. And the big shifter right there, I always liked them. I'm not sure if I'm going to use that one or not. I mean, these are pretty beefy. I mean, that thing's huge, right? So Fastline makes this one. It's a nice piece. I think I'll probably use it, but if I don't like it for some reason, I have a dual bend Skunk 2 shifter as well that I can always swap it to, but I'll probably start with this and see. These are cool, I like them. And you can't miss the front and rear strut bars. Those are genuine spoon pieces as well. You can get those still today from Spoon USA. That's where I got those. And if you look over here, I don't really want to mention what that flywheel's for, but that's a real spoon, lightweight flywheel. I mean, those of you that are already paying attention pretty well already know what's going to be under that cover, but that flywheel is going to go on it. Over here, now that we'll spoil the surprise, I'm sure, for everybody, you see a ton of spoon stuff here, right? Lots of spoon stuff, exhaust, parts, things like that. But that header, that's not a spoon header, that's actually a Toda header. And I chose this for a couple specific reasons, but the main reason is ground clearance. I could have gotten a spoon header, but the spoon header hangs down another 1.5 inches, almost 2 inches compared to this Toda header. And on a car that low, you're just gonna be smacking it on the ground all the time. So that's one of the reasons why I chose this one. The other reason is because this one makes more power. Gives me the ground clearance, I'll take the extra power, so I grab the Toda header. Pretty cool piece right here. And clutch kit back there, gotta have it because the motor, you know, probably has a decent clutch on it, but let's face it, why not replace it while it's out? So a couple more spoon pieces here. There's the radiator stay, there's the reservoir covers right there, there's a fan switch, there's a spoon oil cap, there's a spoon thermostat right there. And then right here, we've got our Hasport linkage, which should be a giveaway of what we're about to do. And then over here, kind of hard to get stuff. So those taillights are genuine EK9 taillights. They look real similar to what's on the car already, but they're in perfect shape. And if you know about these taillights, then you know that finding a set of red and white ones like that is super hard. Like they're all really faded on the top. Like my car, they're kind of faded on top. They've got little hairline cracks in it. These don't have any of that. So I jumped on those. Original CTR headlights right there in, you know, they came new in the box. Those are killer. I grabbed a set of those. And so that'll take care of the lighting on the car. And let me work my way around the back there without breaking anything or myself, and I'll show you the rest of this stuff. Okay, so let me get back there. Okay, I made it. I didn't break anything. So you've probably already noticed this back here. So this is a genuine spoon carbon hood for Civic EK9, which this is just a regular EK, but this is what the hood is made for. The genuine article, real deal spoon hood. And as you know, these don't come coated, they come raw, right? So if you were to just run it that way and the sun gets on it over time, they will turn yellow or get brittle or whatever. So this one, along with all the other spoon parts that I showed you that are carbon here, are all clear coated and then polished. So you can see it's got a lot of good shine and luster, and it's bitching, it's ready to go on the car. You know, that was a cool piece. I was really glad to have that because let's face it, what golden era build is done and proper without a carbon fiber hood? None of them, right? You got to have it. So this is a real deal Next Miracle crossbar. This is made for specifically the EK. This is the first generation, I believe, because it's a 32mm bar. It's got the old logo on it. I mean, someone will correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe these were the first gens. The second gens are like a 35mm. And those, I think you can still get, but these are long discontinued. And the thing is, for me, I had one of these on my 2000 Civic hatch that I did like 15 years ago or so. Like I've got some pictures of it that we'll put up in here, but it had one of these on it. I actually was able to buy it new at that time. But since then you can't get these anymore, or if you can, I don't know about them. So I had to have that. And here it is, it's in great shape. Came with all of the brackets and the mounts and everything. Kind of excited to put that in the car. I like them. I don't know if other people dig it, but you know what? I don't care. This build's for me. So I had to have that. So that covers pretty much everything you see here. What you don't see here is a lot of other stuff that I have for this car. So main things would be a rear disc brake trailing arm conversion. So I have a disc brake trailing arms off of a 2000 Civic Si. Those just need to be rebuilt, and I've got rotors, calipers, all the stuff to put those back together with. And I'm gonna get some pieces from PCI to finish those off with as well. And then those will go on the car. So it'll have 4-wheel disc brakes. Also, the molding right here, this is obviously the factory USDM molding. As you know, they stick out pretty far. They're very tall. So I got some JDM molding, which is thin, doesn't stand off very tall, sits pretty much flush with the body right here. So I have a full set of that for the car that's in really good shape. Those are gonna go on it. Like I mentioned in the first video, I've got all the replacement rubber pieces for the car that are aging, like the windows that we talked about, this roof molding, some other pieces. I have all that stuff. There's nowhere to put it, but I have all of it, and that's all gonna get replaced. And then the big surprise. So what am I gonna do for a motor? Well, let's talk about it for a minute, okay? So everybody knows that these cars were not fast, okay? They're not fast. The D16 that's in here is probably just enough to get you up to speed on the freeway. And it feels good and powerful because the car is light, but realistically, especially in today's world, it's not fast. You're not going to win any races. It's just reliable, good transportation. I never planned to keep that D16 ever. It was never in the cards for me. So when I started to plan this build, I started to look at motor options. Obviously the basics like a B series. There's a couple of different options with Bs. And then looking at new technology, which would be the K swap, okay? So everyone that's into Hondas is pretty familiar with Ks. You could do a K20, which would be, Type R motor. You can do a K24, which gives you bigger displacement. I mean, K motors are everywhere, and they're not expensive, which is super cool too, because you can go buy a K24 for under $1,000. And they make everything to bolt K-series motors into these cars, computer setups, wiring setups, fuel systems, all of it. Like, it's like off-the-shelf stuff. You don't have to make anything anymore. You can literally go on websites of many companies out there and order everything you need to put the engine in and get it running. Like, there are companies that are built specifically around K-series stuff. Like, the ones that come to mind would be K-Tuned, Hybrid Racing. I mean, they offer everything for it. The thing is, I'm building my version of what I could have had around college time, right? So the K-series motor wasn't really a thing back then. I like it for the power, and I like it for the performance, and honestly, the ease of installation and use is pretty high. I'm building sort of an homage to something that I wanted to have back in the day. So what does that leave? Well, the obvious, right? A B series. So that's what's under this cover. So this is what I went with. This is a genuine B16B out of a 2000 Civic Type R. This is a complete engine and transmission, so it's got the LSD trans as well. Complete engine with everything on it. This is exactly what I wanted for this car. So why a B16? Why not a B18? I mean, obviously that's what people are going to say, right? I already had a B18. I had it in my EF Civic that I built years ago. It's great, don't get me wrong, it's a cool motor and I like it, but I wanted the B16 because this engine, just for me, is meant to be in this car, okay? In Japan, you could buy the EK9, which is Civic Type R, came with this engine, this transmission. So I thought, okay, I want that setup in this car. Just feels proper. Is it a rocket ship? No, it's never gonna be a rocket ship. But it's gonna sound great, it's gonna feel good, it's gonna make just enough power for me, and I'm happy with that. So I went with this one. So this engine transmission combo I got from JDM Ohio. They do nothing but JDM imports. Great guys to deal with, super easy. So if you're looking for a bolt-in solution like this, like I was, try them out. You jump on their website and you can grab this. Again, not sponsored. I paid full price for this plus shipping. But if you want ease of sourcing parts and you know that they're good with warranties, can't go wrong. So that's what I did. So this is a 2000 spec motor, same year as the car. Came with the ECU, which is a bonus too. Transmission, like I said, is a 5-speed LSD equipped transmission, factory setup. All the sensors, everything is here. This thing's guaranteed to run. And it looks good. I think it has like 100,000 miles, somewhere in there. It came with the exhaust manifold, which I already pulled off just to get it on this roller cart. And as you see it here, it's a little dirty, obviously, but it's gonna get cleaned up before it goes in the car. And so this was the first phase of engine sourcing for me. The next step was to get all the stuff I need to get it in the car. So you've already seen the Hasport linkage. What you don't see here are the Hasport axles that I got and the Hasport billet mounts for it too. So it's all gonna be just a bolt-in procedure, which is what I was looking for. Sure, I could have gone and sourced an engine somewhere on like Facebook Marketplace, taken my chance with a mystery motor, found a transmission, looked for all the other pieces to get it together, and had my engine swap, right? I don't have time for that. I honestly just wanted a bolt-in solution that came in one crate that I know runs and is guaranteed to work, and that was it. So I bought this one. Now to make this work, there's a couple other things you have to do. So let's back up for a second. They made this engine 96 through 2000. Okay, so there's OBD1, OBD2. So depending on which engine you get and which car you have to configure things a certain way. So since my car's a 2000, it's OBD2. This engine's also a 2000, so that's OBD2. It makes a swap a lot easier. And to make it really simple, I got this. So this is a Rywire harness. And again, I got this straight from Rywire. Had to pay full price for this, not sponsored, but this harness will plug in. It's a tucked harness too, so everything's kind of hidden. It'll plug into all the sensors on this engine and plug in to the ECU with a connector to take this harness to OBD2 ECU, which means I don't have to wire anything. I literally plug this in, lay it in the car, plug it into the new ECU, and fire it up. And that's what I was looking for, a plug and play solution, and that's what they offer. So if you're gonna do a conversion, I'm sure everybody's heard of Rywire, this is what you want, one of these. So I got my Rywire harness here. There's a few other adapters that I got also, including a grounding kit, charging kit, and then the adapter for the chassis. So it'll make everything plug and play. Now, the other thing that I went and got for the engine is this, and you may have seen these. This is a new DigiDizzy. It's a replacement for the factory distributor here. I know these things are failure prone. This allows you to get rid of this setup and go coil on plug, which is what K-Series motors have. And it uses K-Series coils. So this all goes away. This goes in its place, K-Series coils, and the adapter plate to mount it. Pretty much trouble-free. I have the same setup on my Element, it works great. I grabbed this for the B-Series because why not? There'll be a lot of other upgrades going on with this engine before it goes in the car, but I don't have room to put it here. But you can rest assured everything's gonna come off of this. It's gonna get cleaned thoroughly and then put back together with new harness, injectors, all that stuff. I'm gonna replace all of it before it goes in the car. So with all of these parts here, there's still a couple things I'm looking for. And I haven't had much luck finding them yet, but I'm gonna put this out there to you guys. If someone out there has this, make sure you drop in the comments your contact info or jump on Instagram and send me a direct message. I'm looking for the Spoon carbon intake tube for the B-Series. I know they've been discontinued for a long time. There are people out there that have them. I need one. I'm happy to pay for it. If you've got one and you want to sell it, let me know. Also, if you see this cluster right here, this is a Spoon cluster, but this is not a real Spoon cluster. It's the only non-real part here, but it's a placeholder for me to remind me to keep looking for one. If you've got a Spoon cluster, genuine, for EK, in good condition, that works, and you want to part with it, drop me a message. I'm ready. I want one. If you have it, I'll take it. Okay? Everything else, I think I've got covered. I'm just missing those two pieces. So if you've got it, let me know. So let me just say this, because I know people are gonna ask, and you're looking at all these parts and you're going, wow, are you gonna paint it? Are you gonna do a restoration? Is it gonna be a show car? No, I'm not gonna paint the car. I'm not building a show car. I'm not doing this for any other reason other than this is something that I wanted for a long time. I found a nice original Survivor car, and I'm gonna throw all this stuff at it. I don't plan on being a show car guy. I don't wanna sit here and polish it and make sure that it's perfect. I wanna put all this stuff on the car and enjoy it. And that's what I'm gonna do. So is it gonna be perfect? No, it'll never be perfect. None of the cars I have are perfect. I don't want a perfect car. That's too much headache for me. I want something I can put the key in and enjoy, and that's what this is gonna be. So if you like this build and this stuff interests you, you definitely want to stay tuned. There's a lot more coming with this car, and we'll mix it in on our YouTube channel over the next few months until it's done, along with our standard Volkswagen content. But I have to say, I wasn't even going to post the original video because I thought it was just too far out of left field for most of our Volkswagen followers. But the response has been awesome, and I'm glad that you guys like it, because truly, car enthusiasm comes from many different brands, and for all of us out there that got our start in different places, trucks, vintage Chevys, Hondas, Fords, whatever it may be. Cartooning is fun. Working on old cars is cool. Reliving the past is fun. And if you like that kind of stuff like I do and you want to see all this come together in this cool project car, subscribe. Tell your friends, like our videos, share them. Everything that you do helps us put more content out for you. So stay tuned. I'm excited to get started on this. I think the next time you see this car, we'll probably start throwing parts at it, as well as doing a little bit of restoration work, like I mentioned before. So stay tuned, it's gonna be rad. Thanks for coming along for the ride.